In this video, I'll discuss 4 of the most widely used ethical theories and frameworks. These are like lenses through which we can analyze and understand the opportunities and impacts of emerging technologies. It's important to understand various theories and frameworks because these can help us make moral decisions and determine in what ways something might make a positive or negative impact, or whether or not something may lead to injustice or other kinds of outcomes. I'll provide a brief overview of 4 key ethical theories: consequence-based, duty-based, contract-based, and character-based. Let's start with consequence-based ethics, also known as utilitarianism. This ethical theory, founded by British philosopher Jeremy Bentham and further developed by his disciple John Stuart Mill, holds that the morality of an action should be based solely on its consequences and results for the greatest number of people. In other words, if an action leads to the greatest overall happiness or utility, then it's considered morally right. The goal here is to maximize happiness and to decrease suffering for the most people. In other words, pleasure over pain, or the ends justify the means. The key question asked is, what will lead to the greatest good for the most number of people? Next up is duty-based ethics, also known as deontology. This ethical theory, subscribed to by Immanuel Kant, emphasizes the importance of moral duties and obligations. According to this view, some actions are inherently right or wrong regardless of their consequences. The focus here is on one's duty, rules, and obligation to family, country, God and church, etc., and not as much on results or consequences. In other words, a person's motive is far more important than the consequences. The key question is, what is my duty? Under this perspective, a person might argue, it is my duty to do what my boss gives me, even if I do not agree with the concept. It's my obligation to respect authority figures. Or, killing is bad, but it's my duty to defend my family from an armed intruder, so my action is good. The third ethical theory is contract or rights-based ethics. This framework is based upon the idea that individuals have certain basic rights, such as the right to life, liberty, and property. The morality of an action is judged based on whether it respects or violates these rights. There may be a formal legal code or guiding document that people must follow. The key question here is, what are my rights? Examples may include the Bill of Rights adopted by the United States of America in 1791. Various laws have been established over time, including the right to vote, privacy rights, the right to an education, etc. Finally, a fourth framework is character-based ethics or virtue ethics, discussed by Aristotle in the 5th century Greece. This theory emphasizes the importance of developing good character traits and habits that lead to moral behavior, virtue, and practicing good. Instead of judging actions or consequences, virtue ethics ask us to consider what kind of people we want to be and strive to cultivate positive qualities like honesty, compassion, wisdom, and courage, and avoiding vices like greed, jealousy, and selfishness. The key question here is, what kind of person should I become? These are just a small set of the many different ethical theories and frameworks that exist. Each of these theories and frameworks have both advantages and disadvantages. What do you see as some of the pros and cons of these perspectives? Which of these ethical theories do you find the most compelling, and how do they guide your own actions and decisions? Depending on the situation and your values, different approaches may be more or less appropriate. Ultimately, the goal of ethical thinking is to help us make wise and compassionate choices that reflect our deepest values and beliefs.